immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those pain.
Defense!
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pepsi of Florence is proud to present the Florence Carolina Career Fair, sponsored by community broadcasters, held at the Staybridge Suites on West Park Drive from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Thursday, August 21st. There will be dozens of businesses hiring full-time. You need a job? Dress sharp and bring your resume to the Florence Carolina Career Fair. You'll be face-to-face with numerous local employers who want to talk to you. Look, it's time to get back to work. And it all starts at the Florence Carolina Career Fair, Thursday, August 21st at the Staybridge Suites in Florence. For more information and a list of businesses who will be hiring, visit carolinacareerfair.com and click on the Florence button. That's carolinacareerfair.com. Click on the Florence button and get directions to the Staybridge Suites in Florence. Remember, carolinacareerfair.com and click on the Florence button for more information or email careerfair@commbroadcasters.com. We'll see you there. Community Broadcasters is proud to be your local radio source. However, we're more than just a voice of the airwaves. We're a one-stop shop for total advertising solutions.
Yes, we broadcast your message to loyal listeners, but we also take your brand beyond the dial. Want to reach people where they scroll, stream, and surf? We've got you covered.
Digital ads? Absolutely. Social marketing? You bet. Streaming platforms, targeted campaigns, real-time metrics. That too. Whether you're reaching across town or across the world, we can help place your message directly in front of your ideal audience.
With passion, impact, and results. So why settle for less when you can amplify your message everywhere? Let community broadcasters help you broadcast bigger and advertise smarter.
It's your voice, your reach, one platform with endless possibilities. Email us at totalreach@commbroadcasters.com. That's COMM broadcasters.com. Or call us at 843-678-9393. We're community broadcasters. It's more than just a catchy name.
Next.
Live from the Florence Toyota Studios, this is WOLH Florence. Sports fans, you found 96.3 ESPN Radio. Welcome to South Carolina's premier tailgate show, Game Day in the Carolinas, broadcasting from the spacious tailgate of the Community Broadcasters Complex on the PD's 96.3 FM, Sumter's WDXY 105.9 FM, and on Facebook Live. Join Matt and Woody on the tailgate by calling 843-407-5812. And now, your party hosts, Woody Fagan and Matt Jordan.
So, what does this do? It's Game Day in the Carolinas. I'm Matt. He's Woody. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, here we are. Oh, yeah, the phone number. 843-407-5812, 843-407-5812. And, well, we're here.
The countdown started.
Yeah, ACC Media Days are over. I am no longer 43.
Congratulations on that.
I guess. Well, I mean, you know what they say about birthdays. The more you have, the older you get. So,
yeah, I guess they do kind of say that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a week. I completely went on. I'm not kidding you. I completely went on shutdown for an entire week.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, because I didn't really miss nothing when it came to the ACC Media Days. I mean, Dabo. Belichick's Belichick. You have the same 5 or 6 coaches saying we're going to win the national championship like you do in every other place. Big Ten had their...
Well, you got some that are saying more than that.
Yeah, I mean, well. Also, Big Ten had their media days last week. And our buddy shot his mouth off again.
Yeah, I'll need to pull up the exact quote.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
humility just bothers some people, doesn't it?
Yeah. To sit here and talk about how Google me, I win, and we talked about this last week where he dropped Virginia's home and home game with them in that series, to add in teams like, who was it?
Oh yeah,
it wasn't Fresno State,
Kennesaw State.
That's who it was, Kennesaw State. And then comes back out, I guess when he was questioned about it at Big Ten Media Days, and I'm trying to pull that article up right there. He takes a shot at the SEC during his little speech, his little song and dance portion at Big Ten Media Days. And he said, that was a scheduling philosophy that began before I was hired, but I did sign off on it upon being hired before our first season. And he was talking about, of course, dropping their consecutive approach. They're trying to drop those scheduling non-conference games to be like lesser qualified opponents. And it's not like Virginia's been lighting up the ACC season for the last, handful of years or anything, but to drop a home and home arrangement with Virginia that you did several seasons ago, to then add somebody like Kennesaw State and then try to come back and pawn it off like, well, yeah, that's kind of a philosophy they had. If they had that philosophy, why did they schedule Virginia to begin with?
That's a great question. Oh, well, you know what it is? These schedules are made 5-6 years in advance, or that was the last coach.
He said, look, here's the bottom line. We picked up an extra home game, and we played 9 conference games. The 2 best conferences in college football. Any football guy that's objective will tell you are the Big Ten and the SEC. 12 of the 16 SEC teams play 3 G5 or an FCS game. 12 of those teams play 36 games, 29 G5 games, and 7 FCS. He's just going on and on. So basically he says, and this is his quote, so we figured we just adopt an SEC scheduling philosophy. Some people don't like it. I'm more focused in on those 9 conference games.
Oh, I see where he's coming from now. I see it. We play in the Big Ten. It's so hard.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a scheduling philosophy, and blames it on a scheduling philosophy that he had to agree to and sign off on before he, as he was taking the job.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just not buying it at all. Thank you for playing, Kurt. Let me go ahead and shut you up right now.
Yeah, I mean,
just so you know, from 2025 to 2024, Alabama plays at least 2 Power 4 non-conferences every year.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's going to play at least 2 Power 4 non-cons every year. We'll play 3 Power 4 non-cons in 3 of the next 9 years. South Carolina plays at least 2 of the Power 4 teams every year till 2031. We'll play 2 Power 4 non-conference games in 9 of the next 11 years. There's 2 or 3 other teams that I could go on about.
That's on top of their schedule.
On top of their normal SEC schedule. Next 5 years, Indiana plays no Power 4 opponents, no road games, 4 F opponents. 2 of their 7 FBS opponents had winning records in 24. 2 of their 7 had winning records. 2 of 7. Don't tell me you're adopting an SEC schedule. Don't tell me you're a winner, Google me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I am done with him.
He's just a loudmouth and a blowhard.
You have one good year. All of a sudden, I'm a winner. Google me. Blah, 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 blah,
with
blah.
13 or more players you brought from your previous program to a school that had none. And you're pounding this like you trained these guys or you developed them at Indiana. You developed them because they came to Indiana.
Yes.
They were already playing for you. I'm sorry. They always say you don't want to watch a train wreck. This is one I'm going to keep my eyes open for. I'm going to watch this train wreck.
Well, how many times have we said it, though? Signetti wants to be a baller. He wants that
cred.
Guy. Yeah, he wants the cred. Problem is, the First National Bank of Ass does not have the money to cover the checks his mouth's right.
That's exactly right.
So, Kurt, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to treat you the same way I treat James Franklin. Go beat Ohio State. Go beat Michigan. Go beat Oregon. And then we'll talk.
Yeah. Just win. If you're so good that I need to Google you to see that you win, just prove it.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
We'll talk. Seriously, we'll talk. Right after that, we'll start taking you a little bit more seriously. Maybe we'll Google you every once in a while. But the last time I remembered, you were undefeated going into the horseshoe, and they took you at the 50-yard pants down and paddled your behind red.
It was ugly.
Yes. So I don't want to hear about, well, we're just trying to be like the SEC. Here's the thing. The SEC actually wins against Ohio State. They win against Oregon.
At least they've got a good record overall.
Yep. You don't. Google that. Is all I'm going to say on that.
And you don't see too many of the other. I mean, even the old mouthy went over to Illinois. He's not even that bad.
Well, Illinois, didn't they just change their coach?
No, Illinois still got the same one that old, what's his name from Arkansas that we didn't like. I can't think of his
Petrino.
name. No. But either way, Southern Cal's head coach, he's one to me that you would think needs to clamor for a little more recognition or whatever. He doesn't talk that kind of smack.
Well, of course he doesn't, because his record has gone down the last 3 years.
Yeah, Brett Bielema. Stevie Cusack steps in and saves the day on my brain fog this morning.
But Bielema,
he needs to sit in his chair, not me.
I don't understand it. I understand it, but I don't understand it.
But, Bielema doesn't really – he says he has a few jabs here and there, but he doesn't come out and run his mouth over things that he hadn't done. And I don't get it. I don't get why Cignetti feels the need, because it's not like the media wasn't all crazy over him last year anyway.
Right.
Them and SMU. For what?
Because they ran a schedule, and they did what they were supposed to do.
Exactly. And even SMU's coach had a few disparaging remarks to make about scheduling.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute. If anybody benefited from a weak schedule that got exposed in postseason play, it would have been SMU.
Because, what happened because the same thing that happened to Indiana happened to SMU when they played a real game.
Exactly.
50-yard line, your butt got paddled.
It was ugly.
Very ugly. And it's going to be ugly this year when you go to Death Valley.
That was the only glaring problem I had, and it had nothing to do with whether South Carolina should make it or not. Any other team I thought should have made the playoff besides SMU.
Well,
period.
Yeah, and again, I think what it was, and I legitimately believe this, that the committee believed that you take those three teams that were there, Alabama, Ole Miss, SMU, or not SMU, South Carolina, and the only difference between them is one played on Championship Saturday, the other three didn't.
Yep. But in that Championship Saturday, SMU's quality of play and team were exposed by Clemson.
See,
big time.
This is where I am beginning to start agreeing with people that say that the conference championship games should not be played. Because here's the question that I would have, because I really believe this would happen. Let's say you're a team that's at, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, 15, even 16 or 17. I'd go to 12 to 17.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to start asking yourself, you're in the mix for a conference championship. Then you got to start asking yourself, this is only if SMU got kicked out because of what happened to Clemson or what happened against Clemson. If SMU loses that game the way they do and Alabama takes SMU's place and you're South Carolina, you are one game away from playing for the SEC championship. Then it starts playing in your head, well, wait a minute. if we play that SEC championship game and we get paddled, that may hurt us from playing for national championship.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they had to let SMU in. I really believe that's why the committee let them in.
Memory serves, people were already complaining about that before the game ever took place. They were already having those discussions weeks ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence with it. My point was, when you got up and you had to put your big britches on and go and play a team with a legitimate schedule, with a legitimate football history, in Clemson, and you got exposed that badly, you should have known the first round of the playoffs wasn't going to be any better.
They got exposed on a neutral field. That game was in Charlotte.
Yeah, exactly. That told me when I saw that game against Clemson, I went, this is exactly what I thought they were. This is what I suspected. And the next game, if they're allowed into the playoffs, is going to be just as bad.
And I think
it was.
They were the biggest blowout, weren't they?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
You got a little eye quality on it, too.
I
got
agree.
to see a matchup. You got to see what the helmets look like. You got to see them getting off the bus. There's a lot more to it than just the overall wins and losses and whatever computer-generated algorithm you're using for the teams you're playing, strength of schedule.
That's why, as much as I joke about it, I really don't want the BCS to come back.
Well, it also shows you, too, that while the committee may be deemed the smartest college football people or professionals, not all of them are watching the same football games we're watching.
No, and I wouldn't expect them to. And it's like the basketball committee. I wouldn't expect the basketball committee to be watching every single basketball game.
They can't. But the teams in interest that are showing, they might be involved in something, they better be watching those games because apparently nobody watched SMU.
Apparently not. But
Indiana.
Definitely not Indiana. All right, let's take a phone call. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Josh in Florence.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, man, I like what you guys are talking about. I just had the thought, as a Clemson fan, obviously, I think we snuck into playoffs last year. Everyone knows that. But I guess my question is, winning the way we did against SMU, I thought SMU deserved to be there still. But winning the way we did, even though we lost to Texas, do y'all think, had we not gone to that game and played the way we did in the second half, you think the expectations would be high this year for Clemson? I think that showing kind of boosted their expectations for this year.
You talking about?
It absolutely boosted their expectations for last year. But I'm going to call a timeout here. And Josh, and this is even for my friend Stevie Cusack that's listening too right now. He's a big dog Clemson fan. I'm going to defend you, and I'm a Gamecock fan. Y'all didn't sneak into a playoff.
You earned it.
Y'all earned that playoff spot, period. Just by virtue of the way the arrangement's done, y'all won. Y'all did what you were supposed to do, and you actually gave us probably one of the better football games in the entire playoff. That game, it was a much better game than anything we watched later.
I agree, but I hate, as a fan, and I guess it's just a fan in me, I hate having to rely on other teams to win so we can get into the championship game.
Well, unfortunately, that's just the way it's played. Until they figure out another route, and I'm sure they're working on something. If they can find another way to make more money off of it by doing it a different way, they're going to do it. I still think Clemson earned their spot and showed well. I wish they'd gone a little deeper, but you're absolutely right. Based on what they saw from Klubnik last year and the way he progressed, it's not even it boosted expectations for the Clemson Tigers football program, but they've really – you look at a lot of the national ratings on quarterbacks over all of the NCAA, Klubnik's in the top 5 in the majority of the categories for every pundit out there.
You throw that Georgia game out last year.
Yeah.
Even in their losses, Klubnik was their best player.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but I don't know moving forward what to do about the championship game, like you guys said, especially with conference expansion. It's going to happen more and more. I know the lawsuit with Clemson still isn't settled, but I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think they can go anywhere with the buyout and everything. I think you'll see them in the ACC for a while. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I'd like to see them in the SEC simply because that would be awesome. Better teams playing. But I just I don't know what to do about the championship game because I like the scenario y'all gave, man. It would be, especially with a team like South Carolina, maybe even it would be better not to play in the championship game.
Yeah, if you were guaranteed a spot in that playoff, you knew it. And I think that's what they were trying to avoid was maybe a team not wanting to
playing a
championship game or not trying or, maybe putting their second team in or something. I don't know. They were worried about that. I think that was part of the discussion. But the bigger fear was, is this going to knock me out of the playoff? In my mind, from a coaching standpoint, my mind would not be worried about that. My mind would be, is my key guy going to get injured playing in this game when I really want to be in the other game? So,
yeah. I mean, let's say you have a 2-loss Alabama playing the SEC championship, and one of them's French. They're going to want to get both those teams in no matter what.
Oh, they're both. Yeah, because they're both in at that point. So what's the point?
They're both in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep. 843-407-5812. Well, one little thing, the ACC lawsuit has been settled.
Yeah.
You are not going to see, and we got some news on that, of course, 2 or 3 weeks after the terms of the settlement come out. Of course, we get our first, this team is going to lead a mutiny of the ACC and leave. The whole thing is part of that, the deal with the ACC, it's got to be like 6 or 7 teams have to go at one time for that to kick in.
Yeah.
So I think it's $75 million for those teams to leave. Nobody's going anywhere until 31.
At least.
Yeah. Now, 29, we probably will start hearing solid things, but nobody, I think for the next 3 years, you're not going to hear anything.
Well, who would have thought, though, this past week, we saw our first report come out that's saying University of North Carolina Chapel Hill is leading a group to potentially leave the ACC and head to the SEC. They, of course, are inviting themselves to the SEC because I don't think any olive branch has been extended over there, but they're still not talking about that to like 2030, 3031.
See, that's why I hate those articles.
2031, but they are discussing it. It is apparently, for it to have made the article, well, there's been some discussion of it. My surprise was it wasn't Florida State.
Well, that's kind of why I hate those articles. What you're talking about there is because you're right. The flashy headline, North Carolina's leading a squad.
Yeah, team of people. Like who?
to leave the ACC, and then you read the story.
They don't name anybody else.
and they actually go and they go, well, the ACC settlement says that in 2031 the buyout drops to $75 million and blah 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 blah. And there's this little caveat that says if a group of teams leave for something like a super conference, then they'll deal with that. Well, I could just take North Carolina out and put Clemson in. I could take Clemson out and put Florida State in.
Miami.
I mean, Miami. We know what teams are thinking about 2031.
It make it seem like that all of a sudden all the folks at Chapel Hill called a big meeting.
Yeah.
And said, hey, we're going to lead you guys to the promised land. Y'all join on. Jump in the wagon.
Clemson and Florida State's going.
I mean, where they been? That's what they're saying.
You guys were on the sideline for this,
Where
man.
y'all been? It's been crickets up there in North Carolina for the last 2-3 seasons. Where y'all been?
Y'all leading the charge.
You're leading the team now.
Okay.
Look at you.
Just like,
getting all big for your britches.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It's a little head pat, Aw,
and of course, immediately the SEC comes out and says, well, if we added Chapel Hill, that would bring down the quality of SEC basketball. I mean, that was immediately out of the gate.
We don't want it's the SEC. I'm sorry, North Carolina. It's the SEC. You're too you're too much into academics to join the SEC.
I mean, they had that troll meme ready to go. As soon as it was like they were prepared for it.
It's almost like some of these, and I get it, because we get these dirt sheet bloggers. I'm going to start calling them dirt sheet guys, like the wrestlers do. These dirt sheet guys, these fanboys.
Yeah.
That's going to be their number one story as soon as the settlement was put out by The Athletic. Oh, yeah, there it is. Clemson will be leading. North Carolina will be leading. Florida State will be leading. Miami will be leading. Depending on what website you go to. It's like, what? They're going to leave in 2031 if we have this super duper, whatever we're going to call this thing, a super league, they'll leave for that.
Well, there's already speculation out there saying that there's actually a handshake agreement in place. In parentheses, a handshake agreement in place for North Carolina and Virginia. If they leave the ACC to go to the SEC.
Oh, is this the same handshake that 15 years ago Clemson and Florida State had with the Big 12?
Could be.
I mean, remember that? We had a fanboy website 15 years ago. Clemson and Florida State, done deal.
Okay, let me back off here. Let me back off that statement. I misread that. The quote was from the author, I actually had a source today tell me that North Carolina has a handshake agreement with the SEC. The same source tells me Virginia has one with the Big Ten.
Oh.
Which would make more sense to me for Virginia.
Yes. Well, Big Ten would make more sense for North Carolina, too, to be honest with you. With their academics.
Once again, though, the follow-up quote with articles like these.
Yep.
The team. Now it needs some more vetting, some more reporting, but that pretty much says it all. That the school would be the one to actually maybe have some kind of verbal agreement, understanding, whatever, to go elsewhere.
So with this
I mean, it's like, well, this could be a story if we actually had all the facts and we knew it was happening and somebody actually wrote it, it would be a story. That's stupid.
I want to know what the source was. Was that your uncle's cousin's second, brother second removed?
No, he's got a cousin that used to sell programs before ball games back in '84.
It's my Aunt Jenny's son. He's the janitor in the science department at North Carolina.
My cousin's got a kid over there that's a biology major, and he told me that that's going to happen. But, I mean, seriously, that quote, now it needs some more vetting. Which basically says this may or may not be true.
We just made it up.
Yeah, we just made it up. But it needs some more vetting. That's a fancy way of saying we made it up because it needs more vetting, some more reporting. In other words, we need a few more people to buy onto this lie and keep repeating it so the rest of you morons will believe it.
More reporting.
Because the more you repeat the lie, the easier it is to believe.
What is it? You tell a lie so many times it becomes the truth?
Yeah, you believe it yourself. But that pretty much says it all. That school would be the one to actually maybe have some kind of verbal agreement, understanding whatever to go elsewhere. I think it's UNC number 1, and then I think it's Florida State, Clemson, or Clemson, Florida State number 2 after that.
Really?
I don't know what led him down that path.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, where could he possibly have done? He's just pulling schools out of his head.
But Matt, it is.
I know.
It makes me want to grind my teeth out of my head. I'm gritting my teeth so hard on this thing that you actually. I mean, normally when people put this kind of crap out here, they don't do anything like this to what's going on, really.
No.
Because he just said, we made it up.
Look, bruv. I'll tell you right now, bruv. All right? If you're going to be full of, you know what? Be confident. Be confident about your BS.
Now, this is written by Nick Schultz. It was written 16 hours ago. He's with On3. And On3 is typically okay.
On3, yeah.
But he's the one that quoted that. It needs some more vetting.
Needs more vetting. You know what it needs? It needs more cowbell.
But it also, he got this from the Post and Courier Scott Hamilton, who was on Paul Feinbaum's show Friday.
Hamilton.
He's reputable.
Because he's like number 2 behind Cloninger, isn't he?
I think so.
When it comes, what I'm saying is, as South Carolina, I don't know if he's like the junior beat reporter for South Carolina,
but
or
he heard UNC could have a gentleman's pact in place with the SEC.
Oh, good. The old gentleman's
And
agreement's
that same
back.
person told Hamilton that Virginia could be looking toward the Big Ten. Well, my mama told me this morning there was no way Clemson and Florida State were going anywhere.
The mushrooms in my honey sandwich.
I was watching
Colors.
Joyce Meyer give a sermon on TV, and she subliminally told me that Duke was headed to the Big Ten.
Duke was going to the Big 12.
I mean, come on.
No, if
this reeks of desperation.
It is. It is. Because, look, I got it. It's July 26th. So you wrote that story on July 25th. I get it. You know?
Well, you know,
it's July. We don't have much to talk about.
But here's how they qualify this, though. I actually had a source today tell me that North Carolina has a handshake agreement with the SEC. Okay, Matt, according to rumors I've heard, North Carolina has a handshake agreement with the SEC. Guess what I just became for you?
An informant?
A source.
A source, yeah. Yeah.
That's all you have to do when you're writing an article. You get the secretary to come over here and tell you something from her desk, his desk, whatever, not to be genuine. I'm not being biased toward anybody.
No.
They are now your source.
Well,
they could just make it up.
See, that's the thing. And this irritates. This is one of the reasons why I got off TikTok for a while. I'm seriously considering coming back. I don't know why. But I got off TikTok because you get these lifestyle influencers or whatever you call them, and they say something profound, and it turns out they're just reading Reddit.
Yeah,
that's all. Literally,
that's their source,
word for word. They're reading a Reddit post, and I guarantee you, that's what that is. That's a, I went to the message boards, but I'm going to say it's a source. Let's go take a phone call. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Matt.
Yes, Miss Betty.
It makes sense for North Carolina and Virginia to be in the SEC because of television.
You can get the same amount of money from the Big Ten.
Well, either the Big Ten that the viewers is what the television and the colleges go on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Virginia, we don't have North Carolina. It's either going to be North Carolina or North Carolina State. And I'd rather have North Carolina in that.
I can see that. I can see where you're coming from on that, Miss Betty, but I think what we're doing here is just picking on people that
they're trying to stir up stuff by saying, but you just called me, Miss Betty, and just told me you think Virginia and North Carolina would be a better fit in the SEC. You're now my source, and I'm going to go write an article saying that Virginia and North Carolina are leading a team to leave the ACC to go to the SEC because of a source that just told me. That's what they're doing. It's garbage. And, then they might be.
Said a few minutes ago, years ago, it had Clemson joining the SEC, which that will never happen.
Big 12.
Because of television.
Well, actually, it was them joining the Big 12.
And then, Matt, South Carolina and Clemson could not play at the end of the year because of that. It wouldn't be no rival.
Well, I mean, if they were in the same conference, they could. I mean, because Mississippi and Mississippi State play each other at the end of the year.
But it wouldn't be the same.
Why not?
South Carolina and Clemson have got to play in different because of the rival. And then, too, South Carolina has got the television rights, and Clemson's going to have to go to the now, this is what I heard, and y'all have heard the same thing. Clemson and Florida State are in the Big 12.
I don't know.
Big 12 and the ACC will merge in 5 years, or 4 years now.
I just what I was trying to argue with this on is, Hamilton's normally got a pretty good reputation, but he's going on to a guy that I don't think's got a good reputation, and that's Feinbaum, and talking about all this stuff that I really wouldn't expect him to be following. about where North Carolina and Virginia could or could not be heading. And then he starts giving out an argument about why it would be a better brand fit for the SEC and why. And the SEC, as a matter of fact, according to Hamilton, is really impressed or eyeing what the Tar Heels would bring to the SEC. And he cites.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think they would.
I disagree. But it doesn't matter what I think. The problem is I can't go out and quote this as fact and say that this is what I see and this is what's going to happen. I just think that's wrong to do that. You're just trying to stir up and get your name out there.
That's right, exactly. And Woody, I totally agree with you. I mean, I look at things, thank God we all got a different opinion.
Yeah.
Because this wouldn't be a good world if we all agreed with each other. But Clemson and Florida State will either go, well, the teams will, cause they go form the power teams, like Matt just said, or I might be not quoting Matt right. The power teams will come up in 5 years, I think, or 4 years, because
a lot of them will,
the conferences that the teams will not play in the power, they will have their own conference.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where it's headed. I think that's the model they're really looking at.
So anyway, I love your program. I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right, Miss Betty, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Betty.
Okay, bye.
Right, but listen to this argument from Hamilton, though.
Okay.
I think that it talks about the brand of North Carolina and what the school brings, not just in football, Hamilton said. They haven't won a conference title since 1980. But you look at basketball, and you look at academics. Now, hold on. Basketball's been pretty subpar for a while.
Yeah.
You look at what kind of stuff was going on academically just a handful of years ago.
Well, I was about to say academics and the SEC go together like a vegan with meat sweats.
Well, you're right.
I mean, let's just be honest.
You had a legendary female coach fired as the fall